Hello and welcome back to Conquering My Collection. It's been a while since the last one, and I'm totally out of chronology of the stuff that I've watched that I wanted to make videos about. So there's a stack to my left, and I hope to work through it. Basically, a lot of stuff I watched during lockdown, and so I want to just get back to this and kind of polish off some more Blu-rays from my collection, change the rules a little bit as we move on, and I'll get to that when I get to that. So the film I'm talking about today is One Day. So I bought this from Poundland a couple of years ago, and this is a film from 2011. I remember when the film came out, me and Connie were going to the cinema all the time. We had the unlimited passes, and I'd seen the trailers. I thought it looks pretty good. It's the kind of film I like, romance, that kind of thing. I like romantic dramas, but it just never lined up. Never saw it, was not really in any rush to get to it either. So for £1 or £2 from Poundland, I thought, I'll check that out at some point. So I hate to bring this up because I've just filmed a few videos in which I've talked about it quite a bit, but I've been going through some teeth problems, and I was just really down and just uncomfortable. So I thought I just want to watch something nice. So I looked through my collection of films I'd never seen before in my collection, and this came up, and I thought, yeah, I'll watch it. It just seems like a nice soppy love story, just nice and fuzzy. Let's watch it. Okay. So this is a film directed by, I forget the director's name. Where is she? I can't even see her name. It's so small on the back. But David Nichols is the author of the original book, and he wrote the screenplay as well. So this stars Anne Hathaway and Jim Sturgis as Emma and Dexter. This starts in the year of my birth. In fact, a couple of weeks after my birth, in July of 1988. And it follows these two characters, Emma and Dexter, over 20 odd years, I think. But only on one day, the 15th of July. So we follow them when they're kind of graduating from university in Scotland. And then the year later, they're in London setting up, and they're going in different directions. And the very first night, Emma and Dexter, they go back to her place. They almost have sex, and then they don't, and it's kind of a bit awkward, but there's still something between them, And then as the years go on, they become just more friendly. And then Emma gets a love interest in the form of Rafe Spall, who turns up as this kind of geeky guy and, a bit of a layabout. And she gets into a relationship with him. She's not that happy as the years go on. Dexter goes into a really he goes into a career that is very, I'm trying to think of the right word for this now. I'll leave this in for free. Dexter goes into a career as a kind of late night TV host on UK television in the 90s. There's that kind of schlocky stuff that if you grew up in the 90s or lived through the 90s in the UK, you know exactly the kind of show that he is presenting. It's just just that kind of cheesy and kind of trying to be saucy and all that kind of stuff, and just the way that Jim Sturgis portrayed his Dexter's on-air personality was perfect. That kind of all right, God, I don't know, there's this slimy, sleazy kind of disingenuous, I don't know, just really, I say relatable because it's not relatable, but it's something I recognized so completely as oh yeah, he's that guy from the 90s. Totally get it. So he's kind of fallen into a career that is really vacuous and unfulfilling, but he becomes famous and he kind of loses his way. And throughout the years they come back into each other's lives here and there. And I liked the device very much. It was really interesting, and I really grew to care for their relationship and the kind of will they, won't they kind of drama surrounding him. Anne Hathaway does this, I think it's supposed to be northern accent, not entirely sure. Jodie Whittaker is in this, very briefly. She's in most of the film here and there, in the background, but it felt like she was trying to do Jodie Whittaker's real accent. It slipped in and out for me, but it was fine. The hair and makeup is very good in aging these characters, trying to make them look younger at the beginning, and lots of different hairstyle changes for Anne Hathaway, and I was really actually gripped by the story, got sucked into it, and then it ripped my fucking heart out at the end, and I wanted to just pull the disc out of the player and just snap it in half. To me, the film just veers off into a very depressing and dark place at the end, and I wasn't expecting it. I just wanted something nice, you know. I just wanted something nice, and I got that for about an hour and a half, and there just wasn't that payoff. And well, there is a payoff, and I can see why they feel like it's a payoff, both the writer and the director, and probably the people who made it, and I'm sure the audience who enjoy this film find that there's a payoff. But the payoff to me was just so sad that I just felt empty afterwards, you know. And I don't know if I ever would watch it again. And I wanted to start this series, Conquering My Collection, as a way of saying, you know, at the end of the video, do I keep this or not? And my instinct is to say no, but then who am I going to sell it to, you know, for more than £1 anyway? And maybe I will watch it again. I don't know, there is something to it. But oh, it's just so sad. It was so sad. You know, just to see this guy, Dexter, like, just disintegrate, and his relationship with his parents is heartbreaking. Yeah, it was just really sad in the end, and I just didn't like that, honestly. So it kind of is what it is. I have not much more to say about it. The special features I try to watch, but there's it's like the look of One Day, Anne Hathaway on bringing Emma to life, Emma and Dexter through the years. It's like, oh, this would be interesting behind the scenes stuff. No, it's just like promotional trailers that are like 2 minutes long, that are mostly just a trailer for the movie with a couple of behind the scenes interviews. It's really like fluffed out. There is a director's commentary, which I almost want to listen to, but I don't know if I will. But yeah, so that's it. Sometimes there isn't much to say. I did really enjoy it. It's very well done. But for me, the story just, it was a bit too sad for me. And I'll leave it there. And at the very end here, I will actually go into spoilers just to tell you exactly why the sadness was too much for me. So if you don't want to be spoiled about it and you still want to watch it, I would recommend it if you like romance. If you like, it's not even melodramatic, really. It almost is unmelodramatic, actually, the way that it deals the sad stuff. I don't know, deals with the sad stuff. But yeah, I don't know. If you like to see films that hit you in the chest, maybe it'll be for you. I don't know. Otherwise, getting into some spoilers here. Emma and Dexter, they don't get together. Will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? At one point, they had like a one-night stand, I think. And then, you know, she doesn't want to be involved with him. He's such a womanizer and a sleaze and stuff. And he gets married and has a kid. And finally, they get together. And the year comes, the next year comes, and it's like, oh God, you know, did they make it? Yeah, they made it, and they're so happy together, and they're turning their lives around and stuff. And it's like, oh, awesome. The year afterwards, you know, even better. And she says, I want to have kids with you. You know, oh, great. The year afterwards, she's like, yeah, not pregnant again, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It's like, oh man, they're struggling with getting pregnant. That's a shame. And then she gets on her bike and gets hit by a truck and dies. Then he's depressed for a couple of years. And then her old boyfriend, Rafe Spall, comes over and says, you know what, you know, it's been tough that we both lost her, but when you turned your life around and you two got together, that meant a lot to her. And I think that makes it okay. Well, he doesn't say that exactly, but it's almost like the big kind of resolution is the fact that Dexter becoming less of a shithead made her happy for a couple of years, and then she died, and so maybe it's okay. And it's all happy, and the ending is seen as this guy. But I know that it's tricky with people who lose loved ones. You have to move on. You have to try to move on and try to find some sense of peace about it. But it just came out of the blue for me, and it was just so sad. And it's just like, well, I don't know. It was just sad, you know. And I just thought, oh, I was so invested, and it just gets thrown away a little bit. So it was kind of a shame, and I was disappointed because I'd been invested, and then I just felt like it didn't. And there's even scenes throughout the film that feel a little bit superfluous, and I'm just like, nah, does this need to be here? Mixed bag for me. Overall, really liked it. I'll leave it there for one day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
He's alright by me. Apart from the fact he throws cans of Carlin into a tree. Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, he's really cool. But he's not quite as cool as you.